10, 19, 20 to 13. How did it go today? Today, it was not a good place. Run down, it was a substandard, exceedingly small size community of cabins. 6 of them. Some homeless and dirt-covered man just sitting right out there in front of my own cabin. Oh no. Some 20-year-old skateboarder drug users in the 5th cabin just standing outside, eyeing and spying on any intellectual activity or light affirmativeness. Terrible. A cat is though stray, but belonging to those owners. Awful. As I was told, the dirty person, though not even taken care of by them. Oh, how awful indeed it was. Dreadful. You cannot go there. It is also sad and terrible. How do people sink into this? It was said to me, these are the cheapest places in Running Springs. Poverty-stricken it was, but not Running Springs. Crime-ridden, probably. Even that area. You can't live there. No, of course not. Yes, crime-ridden. I felt very bad all day afterward. I expect you did. Osk knows about this day's event, but no, time is running out, Odin. I understand until the 1st. If you're desperate, then the lady with the dogs is the best. Oh, no, I've written back to her already, telling her no. Oh, I could not live there. Okay. The place is up for others by now. I cannot go to Ask's, not to Siggens, no, not to Embla's, not to Mimer's, no. There are no friendships, very little money. Was there another place? Well, yes, there is one other place in the Garden of Eden. Crossline the Garden of Eden. Okay. It is more expensive, this one. Affordable, however. Okay, it just has to be better. It has. Acceptable and tolerable. Tomorrow in the morning, what has to be better than the one today? I call her and drive down there to inspect the place in person. Alright, about that, yes. Of course, if not the Garden of Eden place, I have every right to be exceedingly afraid about my future situation. Yes, understood. What could happen? I won't even return to Ask's. No. I will not think about it right now. Well, must keep looking, which I expect you are, just in case the Garden of Eden one is not good. There have to be others. Keep looking, I'll do so, yes. It is important. I'll resort to housemate situation if I should find one. Yes, indeed. Maddening this is. Take one with a housemate. Should there be one available, and then plan again. It is maddening. 4 months by now, no place found, and then beyond belief. Given a 30 days notice, and no luck at all since 4 months. Suddenly, you'll find somewhere. I know it. 30 days to do this. It is bad, Odin. I know it is. It is sensible, however. The place here was a complete and nightmarishly ridiculous failure. I hadn't experienced pain and torment and affliction never in my life like I did while here at this place. It was truly unspeakable affliction here. Indeed, uncommon affliction. Others do not experience this pain. It was repellent. It is a rare case of affliction. Yes, noises drive me insane. Sounds, lights out, pillow over the head, shutting out the life experience altogether, with nobody else. They think I'm mad at work. Nothing else there. Nothing to look up or forward to. Life itself is painful. No good memories. Life is painful, but it won't stay like this. No good premonitions or future thoughts. What did Osk say? Is he trying to help? Osk is, of course, helping me. Yes, money-wise, yes. Bless him. Suggestions. He's the best father. To the landlords, advice, assistance. Always reminding me, good man, that I do have his place to go to. True. He has even come close enough. Better that than the streets. Evicting Satan from his place. He was even ready to do this for me, though he did not do so only because I did not return to his place. I do not know, but better that than the straits. Well, perhaps that will happen. It is impossible to stay here in the mountains during this season were I to be homeless. He will evict Satan, and I will not accept that. I'll not be able to shower or to sleep comfortably. All of my possessions will have been my car, no room to stretch out at night. Impossible, Odin. Library computers only, for house assistants. Yes, know this. He cannot put me through that. So frightening. I lost some support from him today. I see sixes more commonly. Again, irritation from him. Whatever material abstractions. And so, now, at this situation, how frightening that is. Unbearable. But you must go to Ask. You can't be on the streets. No, not to dwell with him. I must find another place. Perhaps he will evict Satan. I can still do so. Time's not completely out. It is indeed some 14 further days. That is true. The day itself, it might be the 5th even. You still have time. I don't know about it as of yet. As long as you can look every day. Yes, every day. Call at least someone every day. This place at the Garden of Eden, I'll not accept less than that. Have you seen it on Google Earth? I mean, do you know what it looks like? At the Garden of Eden, I had even looked earlier today on Google Maps, Street View, yes, for it. I could not find it. I have the street name for it, though not the number. I looked up and down. How annoying. The entire street. Right, I have pictures of the place. I tried to match the doorway in the painting, the house in the pictures, to each and every house that I came across on the street view. Still could not find it ultimately. But indeed the house, what a shame. It has to have a good quality. What was the street like? The street is a very good one. It is secluded. Oh, there are good houses there, big good houses. That sounds promising. Spacious of their intervals. It is the Garden of Eden. How could it be horrible in a good street? It is like Satan's place. The area as such, the area itself. Oh, good. Many of the houses are like his place as such. Oh, I'm praying that this one is good. There could not possibly be bad neighbors there. The Garden of Edeners are actually good people. The Garden of Edeners are actually very good people. It is a rarity around here. They drive calmly. They wave to you in your car. Oh, that's great. They are on the streets. They will just simply wave to you in your car as you pass them. They do not even know you. This is the Garden of Eden, right? The way it used to be here. It is a far better town than even Big Bear, the Garden of Eden Wilderness. Lovely, as it used to be. Yes, still so. Oh, I have hopes for this one. In the Garden of Eden, I do too. Oh, we must be positive and remain positive. Somehow, some way, I must find additional money. Yes, 200 Helheim coin more per month. Oh, they couldn't take it out of the paycheck, could they? I must ask them about this. Such misery all this is. I don't understand the question. Oh, I refer to the government program. Okay, were I to make additional money. Ah, I see. There's that concern that I have. It may be valid. No matter 200 Helheim coin or what else. So if such is the case, well, over here people do work and don't tell anyone as well as getting government money. It's known as fraud here. And to make additional money while on this program is an impossibility. Oh, indeed. Benefit fraud. I would never commit that. They have to know the program. No, I understand you wouldn't. About essentially any amount of additional money made. Sadly, yes. Oh, well, I preserved the idea of an online business. Somehow, someday, to establish this. Is there any kind of work you could do, darling? I know it is difficult. As though part-time. Yes, I say above. Oh, yes, I see. Something about business activity. Online work. I could be a very good businessman. Business activity, yes. Yes, I believe that. It is within me to formalize this. Right. It would have to be rather upscale business. I think you could do it. Then there, at such a level, I could shine. You could. Only online business for now. Selling. Oh, yes. It could not be swords or helmets and so forth. Not altogether. Somehow there must be more cheaper commodities acquired and offered online. I agree. Revenue can be made far more easily through this means. It would not be a full-time business, no. I would not devote my life to it, no. So yes, were the Garden of Eden place, were I to get it, it is more expensive this place. While there, I would try to start such a business, if to cover whatever additional expenses there. Well, no, of course, no. But in the short term, you must have to devote quite a bit of time to it. Earn some profits, some acceptable income, at last, of course. Yes, at first, as you say. Maintain it likewise. At first, devote quite a bit of time to it. Yes, fearsome this is, returning to this current situation. It is. I wonder what you could sell. Right. I'm thinking hard here. I think about, alongside of perhaps swords or helmets, DVDs and CDs. What else? Sometimes the things that sell well with the public are things that don't always interest us personally. This is cheap commodities. No, that is absolutely true, as you say of it. We would sell even commodities that went against our value systems and our principles. We would have to do so. Swords and helmets. Is there a market for these? I mean, a big market, and where would you get them? And even so, we would not surrender to them. No, not a big market. Yes, I have just read your words. For these, correct. And to get them, metal would need to be acquired. Also the bracers. Another item. In this, true, leather is acquired at crafting shops. You can craft the leather into the bracer. Use your crafting tools for this. Knife, punching awl, string. Add onto it designs or studs and so forth. This is concerning the bracer itself. The swords, far more difficult to craft them. Anvil required, I think, in a furnace. A hammer? Yes, smelting the metal. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to it. Sandpaper. Smith the sword. Oh yes. And then where would all this be done? The hilt, the guard, the pommel. Right. Right. A room at my place would have to be set up for this. I can see you're very passionate and interested in this. To craft a helmet. I am, yes, indeed. A helmet. Perhaps there are molds for the steel and the metal. Liquefy the metal, I think. Place the liquid in the mold. The form of it. And then somehow it dries. I don't know, actually. I'm thinking about this. Research would be done on this. Suddenly it would become far clearer. Then they are offered online. Yes, there must be info on the internet. The store online is opened up. Oh, there's information on all this online, of course. Would you sell on eBay? It is opened up, and yes, I would sell my merchandise on eBay or on Amazon as well. These are the sites, yes, that I would do this. Good. But indeed, there would definitely require dedication to this practice. I don't know if I have it within me to do this legitimately or lucratively enough. It is not required to do this. It could be a problem. Yeah, not completely necessary. It could be, yes. I read negative feedback could ruin the business. You have to work at something like this consistently. Yes, negative feedback is terrible. So positive feedback is so important to receive it from the customers. Consistently, right. That is why I'm afraid of selling my own work. Remember to do this someday in the future. Afraid of feedback. Oh, understood. Yes, I'm so sensitive. It is, however, almost commonplace on eBay or Amazon, I think, too, to receive positive feedback between the buyers and the sellers. I sense, just to show you, I can spell. I can't work it consistently either. Persons are unwilling or do not like to send negative feedback consistently. No, I cannot do so. But there are some who enjoy it, I'm sure. This is the very main reason for my lack of written compositions, and also for the books that I have written over the course of time. They're written, not written all at once. I sensed the others; they had exhausted themselves with this practice of mine over the course of time. Yes, I would probably have obtained far greater readership were I to have written behind the scenes my works, and then have released them all together at once. This is the problem. Such a major problem that is. Horrifying, actually. It is tragic. Right here, irrecoverable, the audience they are to you, Odin. because perhaps of such a practice, I can paint something that someone says, "Oh, I love it, I would buy you that. You should do more like that." Then I can't paint. Music is lengthy, however, one after the other, it all falls away. It wears them out. Though I see, of course, nervousness, insecurity, doubtfulness about your artworks. Ah, yes, and I have just read your words. I understand. Right, of course. Yes, for different reasons we both struggle. Do not return us self-conscious as you others. We must say to them, do not awaken us to ourselves. Let us imagine our minds without pointing out our course, our path to us. Play along with us, act like us, say your phrases like us, as we intend them to be said. As we intend them to be said, it is so far different every time, always, from what they will actually say to us or reply to us. 10, 20, 20 to 13. Creator. I must let you know I'm very pleased with this place in the Garden of Eden. I was able to make it down to the town earlier this morning and had seen and sat down with her, Marley, and spoken with her, and the both of us had gotten to know each other much better. We had spoken with each other for a good amount of time, actually. She's so much like me, like us. She is, I understand it, in her 60s. The place was seen, it is indeed satisfactory. It could be wonderful living there at this next Garden of Eden place. It is affordable, ultimately, and it is a studio apartment. It is spacious enough for me for a long-term stay. It is furnished sufficiently enough, too, with the kitchen appliances. She's offering me a bed from her own. Marley herself, how lovely she is. She lives in her own cabin, detached from the studio unit that is behind her cabin. And down a hill, it is so quiet in the unit. Frig, Marley is indeed a formal cause derivative abstraction of you. She's a painter. She has her own subcontinental Asian religious perspective essential enough. She has her own little dog, Charlie of 10 years. Charlie of 10 years. She has had a son, but he had died at a young age, at essentially my own age. She's austere and mature and wise. Oh, I wish for this place so very much. There's one other person, a friend of hers, but he is ambiguous of his commitment to this place, she tells me. Marley and I clearly like each other. I sense as though a bond between each other could develop long-term with each other. I said goodbye to her and was reminded from her, give this 2 days, and then one of us will call the other and confirm this commitment of my own to this place. I must be positive on this, and I must remain positive on this. Wish for this next place. Pray for this next place. Oh, Odin, I woke late and rushed downstairs to find your words. Oh, Odin, I'm happy. I'm hoping and praying with all my heart to God and all the powers I feel around me. This must be yours. Must be. I will not tempt the fates. I will not say I feel it is yours. I will only hope with all the hope I have within me that it is so. She sounds lovely. Wonderful. You might find, if you get it, that you do not wish to move at all. That this is your home, with freedom and the charm of a good setting, in a good town with good people. I'm happy and elated, but tempering that with caution and reserve, just in case. At least you made it clear that you loved it. This should sway it. How are you? I'm not doing good right now, no. I was called back from her earlier today. The place was indeed given to the prior person. I was exceedingly shocked by this, and severe pain afterward all day. Today. Oh no, I felt it was yours. Marley's place was as though, were I to get the place, then indeed the Creator would have judged me affirmatively. But I wasn't sure. I was not given the place, and it is as though that place, it was as though a final premonition. Something told me the other person would get it. Of the judgment of me during the afterlife, I sense as though that indeed I am damned. Well, I was yelling out loud at him in furious rage earlier today. I was in severe despair. Is there anywhere else in your sights? We mustn't give in, Odin. I was pounding on myself. Of course you were. He wanted this to be done. He judges of me. He has abused his essential wife, Idun. I shall abuse him from here onward and forever afterward. Sixes again manifest irritation in the material abstractions, unfriendliness and coldness of conduct from the others. Injustice this is. Animosity from him. He is not the wise one. He is not the just one. He is not the loving or the friendly one. He is not the attentive one. I had discoursed this dialectic earlier. I'm beginning to do this now. I imagine to myself as the life experience would be, were I to have been the creator, and, and that the self-substance were that of my own creation. Essentially, any badness that is attributed in reactivity to that of the self-substance, I, as the creator, would never permit that badness to take occurrence to him, the self-substance. Were I to point out various examples, then the actual creator seems as though to learn from me on this subject matter, though it is exceedingly late in my time by now. At the same time, it is confirmed to me, even from legitimate other human substance, that there is indeed no free will or free independent volition. So I'm ultimately not to be at blame or fault for any or all of this. Leave this despicable life experience to the doing and activity and responsibility and so forth of the actual creator. At the same time, to you I reason to ask, evict Satan immediately, for very evident and clear reasoning. Oh, ha, ha, ha! I have not read his response message to this as of yet. However, were Satan evicted from Ask's place, then I will move back to Ask's household. Yes, whether or not that Satan is presided there for whatever remained amount of time or not. I hope this happens. Minus 30 days, whenever it begins, and then while Satan is still presided there before his eviction, I will not preside there at the place. I will wait it out for it to leave the place at last. The place that I will wait for it to leave finally at last will be at the city's psychiatric ward. I can think of no other sufficient place for shelter, for indeed I had affirmed homelessness beforehand. Oh, Odin, psychiatric ward will be a great step up from even this homelessness. Well, I've been sent to be practical, I believe. Something tells me that I need to visit such an area anyway. So is there anywhere else at all? Well, I had called place after place after place today. There's this characteristic theme from their negativity by now. I'm dismayed. Unfriendliness, coldness, doubtfulness. Wrong type of housing situation. This is so unkind. No other place can be found by now. Beforehand, the 1st of November, it was Marley indeed. That was the one. What about a share with a roommate? If not, then forget about the other places. Share it with a roommate? I cannot find one that is sufficient enough. Even so, oh, this is so awful. I cannot, still as of now even, choose just any place. It is. Nobody should have to go through this. No, I can't imagine what it is like not to have a safe place. He sees me. He knows me. To call home. He knows that I'm a good person, a better person. No one should go through it. A great person, and you are a good person. You're the best of them. It is as though he is a dragon-like monster. He's the bad one. I came to the point that even you're Lucifer, are you not? Lucifer is you. There's no God but Lucifer. Has Ask written to you yet? Yes, as Ask has done so, though I'll read his latest messages later. I cannot bear to read from him that. No, Satan is not going to be evicted from my place. Understood. No, Satan is not going to be evicted from my place. Understood. Time must be given to this. No, the words are too awful. They are. This is a disgusting life experience. The Creator is bad. The self-substance is good. Plain and simple. The Creator is as though Semitic himself. He innately and naturally dislikes the Teutonics. I am Teutonic. I'm at the complete and total mercy of this beast-like monster. Were I to be the Creator, then I would not manifest a stop sign before the self-substance, were he to be thinking to himself about anything at all intellectual. The actual Creator manifests his self-substance, the stop sign, stop thinking intellectually creation. Despicable. The self-substance stops his car at a traffic light. The actual Creator manifests an irritable and ireful impassioned car in reactivity to him in the distance. The better Creator would not manifest that car to the self-substance to begin with, to my own creation. The creations would be improved 1,000-fold in every respect, essentially so. Life, affirmativeness, and intellectual activity, and intellectual cheerfulness, and grandiosity and magnanimity, confidence and certainty of the muscular system and of the cerebral system, formal cause and material cause, and so on and so forth. Essentially, all of the qualities attributable to the actual self-substance would be lovingly and justly and wisely and attentively permitted and encouraged by me to him. Antiquity would remain unchanged. There would be no descent downward or downside from antiquity. The bird substance category would remain essentially unchanged. The dog category would be slightly improved. The dog would be less territorial and less irritable or sufferable from his sensitivity. Woman would not experience her menstruation. There would be no Christianity. No churches would manifest before the self-substance. For his life experience itself would not be miserable or sufferable. There would be no need to affirm of these bad and tearful self-substance negative, life experience negative, creator negative qualities. He would be permitted to fornicate without blame and without retribution if he were helpless otherwise for being incapable not to do so. Never would I justify that he were to be marked against for his doing so, though of course he wouldn't be helpless from having to do so. For my creations would have given themselves to him early onward with easiness, with simplicity, without opposition to him. The pig and so forth would be innately permissible to eat of it and to consume of it. The pig would not ever manifest as attributable to malevolence down below. For my creation would not ever experience malevolence down below. There would be no thugs or black steel or mechanical digestive system hip-hop garbage ever. I would never predicate or identify myself as creator to these specific abstractions. They would never manifest under any situation to the self-substance in the first place. I, as creator, would never curse profanely or with vulgarity through means of the various other human creations. I would never commit any of the cardinal sins, as otherwise the actual creator is regularly and normatively responsible for committing every last one of them. I would preserve my virtuousness forever. Wisdom and knowledge would be permitted and encouraged by my creations to pursue of it. There would be no negative conception or understanding or negative term or abstraction of eccentricity, for all my creations would lovely and freely display without criticism or negative judgment any eccentric qualities found here as part of this actual life experience. There would be ultimately no telephone abstraction. Where the human substance is desirable to affirm of long-distance communication, then there would be messengers assigned and designated to their service, out of door and close sufficiently enough forever by them. There would be town watchmen at night. There would be no timefulness or impatience or irritation from it. My creation would be given other substantiated creations, rightfully so, many a secure company of them. They would forever be without disloyalty to him, and forever with identification of him, and forever manifest with him and fulfilling him with imaginative intellectual activity. My other substantiated creations would be forever without abandonment from him. They that would not be forever timeful or time obligated, necessitated. He would be capable to communicate the entirety of his thoughts to his other persons or friends or companions, whenever he were even spontaneously wishful to do so, and as prolonged or drawn out as he would ever wish them his thoughts to be. He would find the other human substances with a strong and developed imagination. They would be playful of intellectual activity with him. He would never leave from or terminate from his childhood residence, his rightful first and most primary hometown. By every means would my creation's good intentions never at all be invalidated by me. Were my creation desirable to remove a key from his piano's keyboard, he would never at all experience the reactivity of a further additional key having become broken from it during the course of the process. Instead, my creation would rightly and justly have gotten his first broken key removed. As it was wished and good intended of him. Were my creation desirable to pay a bill or a debt to some various business agency over the phone, he would never at all experience the animosity of his phone at the very precise moment running out of battery power or charge and it failing on him and not in any moderate amount of time. Further, afterward having been capable to complete the transaction at all. He had intended goodly in carrying to the creator to perform this activity and to ultimately complete it. The woman category would be vastly improved. Her physique would remain essentially unchanged. That is good enough. Her metaphysique would be improved 1,000-fold. She'd be far more agreeable and identifiable to the male substances. There would not be angels manifest everywhere before the self-substance, forever marking away at him. No. The self-substance would be given a luxurious life experience, the most luxurious of all possible life experiences, and understandably insensibly so, the most happiest of all possible life experiences. I would never destroy my creation, utterly and completely. My word, no, never. I'm hoping against all hope that Osk can assist you in this terrible time, or that something comes along. I think so, as you say. I will hope and pray all day. I thank you, Frigg. I shall think of you, Odin. Sober thoughts. I will never even permit of the thought at all whatsoever to burn the self-substance, my own creation, my word. No, never. Positive thoughts. The actual creator was the villain. You are the best of men, Odin. October 20, 2013. Creator. I really don't know. I really don't care how I am right now. I really don't care how I am right now. I've spoken on the phone with Osk earlier today. However, both he and Embla are helping me. He offers me other places. Thank goodness. Ultimately, the best help that I could receive from him is that he has offered to subsidize my rent payment at whatever upcoming place, that he will assist me financially from month to month, for a while, temporarily. Yes, but you have to find a place first. I don't know the amount. He is good to do this. But because of this, I can search for a somewhat more expensive place and move to that place. Ah, excellent. That is good news. That because of this financial help of his, time does not tick away. That sooner the place will be found. I am absolutely disgusted by the Creator still, however. It is clear and evident to me that he is indeed and has been continuously, severely abusive to me. I have no respect for him right now. This is disgusting. Well, I can't answer that, of course. The one father who has not let you down is Osk. I turn to him. He turns his back on me. I turn to him. He turns his back on me. I turn to him. He turns his back on me. I feel miserable and negative. He reaches out to me, but then I turn to him, and again, he immediately turns away from me. It is sickening and repulsive. I do not think of the Creator as loving, so it does not surprise me. No, the Creator is not loving. He is abusive. He is miserable. He is despicable. He is villainous. He is monstrous. Whether I say these words myself or not, this is truth. He gives me nobody else in person. Curse him. Forget about him. Well, let's hope you can find a good place where you can rest and draw breath and think about all this insecurity. I have a severe hatred for him, and for very good reasoning. This is the most important thing, getting you settled. I have some places lined up for tomorrow in Big Bear, 2 of them, more expensive single-person apartments. Let's see what he will do to me. Curse him. Once you're settled, you can begin your appraisal of your life. The Big Bear properties sound hopeful, and they are single-person apartments. This sounds excellent. Good enough. Osk is the loving father. Osk is, as you say, yes. As to the Creator, I would not know. I know nothing of him. But when I look around me, I do not see love. I'm not at the complete total mercy of this good man, however. No, he loves his others. His others are himself. He praises them, blesses them, gives them friendship, plenty of money, plenty of love, warmth, affection, kindness, security, shelter, food. These are his others. These are himself. He sees me as the central purpose of this life experience. I'm the only one extracted from him, the only other one. He could have blessed me. He could have showered me with love and with happiness. He did not do so. He is what he is. He is a monster. An eye for an eye. you destroy me completely and utterly, then you destroy yourself completely and utterly. Face up to your law. You despicable, malevolent, vicious, violent, abusive, sinister, hypocritical antagonist monster. Curse you to your hell. Done with you. Enough of you. You say this to me. Everywhere, always. Say this to yourself. Do this to yourself. Sickening vomit creator. Enough of him. Well, these are things I have no answer for. I did not request for this. I did not permit of this. This is his responsibility, his doing, his activity, his experience. I did nothing to deserve Sigyn to divorce Osk. I did nothing to deserve to move south down to the hell hole that was Escondito. These are the foundations to his damnation of me. Curse him again. Against my volition, such foundations are. Clearly, he created me to burn me. Well, Odin, I don't envy you your belief in this God creator. There is no redemption of me. He will not budge. I think he has made you terribly unhappy. Curse him! He has. And then I affirm of Buddhism for a while. During my 2-day waiting period for Marley's answer, I sensed legitimate life negativeness. That is, it was an acceptable feeling. There was peacefulness to my volition and so forth. Then, I understand the verdict of Marley. It is a great shame. Against me. Had everything to do with this. Affirming of this Buddhism. As though you betrayed me for the last time, creation. Get me out of this. Stop the life experience. Stop all of this. I don't request or permit of this. I don't affirm of the Creator. I don't affirm of Satan. Neither hell nor paradise. Stop it. I'm so desperately sorry that you're suffering so much. I would grant my creation his place to himself. All will be well. I just know it. This is a painful time. I would give my creation his experience, his feeling, that all will be well for him. But things will change. I would change things for him for the better. My big hopes for a swift and speedy end to your suffering. A good place to live and no stress. A good place to live. Away from him. Financial or emotional. Never enter into my life again. That monster. Leave me alone from him. No others. Only you and I. I hope so. And ask. And one or two others from time to time. And that is it. Yes. October 21, 2013. (10/23, 2013). I'm okay. I have good news. I found a good cottage in Big Bear, the Garden of Eden Wilderness. Good. Please keep writing. I'm just away for a moment. A very good studio cottage cabin. My own place it would be. Yes. I've seen the place in person yesterday with the landlord, Debbie. An application is filled out so far, too. I tried calling Debbie for most of the afternoon and evening earlier today, just scheduled to see her for credit check fee payments. However, I had reached her later at night. And unfortunately, I had reached her later at night, and unfortunately, she was half asleep. I was ashamed because of this. However, I will call her around 900 in the morning tomorrow and arrange to see her again and send her money for the credit check fee. We will go from there. She knows I'm rushing for this. Also, the place itself is wonderful. It is a more expensive apartment. I'm here and just about to read your words. For Osk will be helping me financially with this. It will have to be a 6-month lease. By 6 months, perhaps, then we shall decide for the place or against it afterward. I'm hoping for this place. Oh, this is wonderful. I'm being and acting and communing so piously with God as of lately. So you'll have 6 months living there to decide whether you like it enough to stay. Great news. I'll tell you, I was fasting, I was praying, I was reading the Bible, I was prostrating with prayer to him. I was prostrating with prayer to him. I was prostrating with prayer to him. I was exploring Christianity more affirmative of it again, turning to Christus more affirmative again, reading about him in the afterlife. Okay, well that's good. I'm learning to be more pay us legitimately, authentically. I'm trying everything that I can do so that I will not be denied from this, not to be homeless. Let's keep our fingers crossed that you do get it. Is there any reason why you wouldn't get it? No reason that I know of clearly right now. Wonderful. Though there could always be some other applicants that I do not know of. Yes, but you got there first. I think that I did, yes. So it is more expensive, but that means better surroundings and all yours. Also, I have gotten rid of public display of any graven images of me. I don't quite understand. I've considered taking down all sorts of videos online also. Oh, I see, I understand. Photographs of me. Yes. Videos were harder to actually do this. I'd privatized only the photograph videos of me. So far, you think that they have become inappropriate somehow? Well, I read and know of this as truthful. Do not make any graven images of yourself, nor of any animated substance. Do not fall to worship or admire such work of yourself or such thing. Okay. So my online presence, I'm trying to authentically diminish this of me as much as I can do so. My first 2 books that were published online or privatized online by now also. I'm trying to be chaste and celibate as much as humanly possible also. I see. All of this, for I'm deeply concerned about myself, about my fate in the afterlife. By now, everywhere it is clear to me. Well, if you feel this way, then you must do it. It is not a closed book to me as of yet. It is helpful, I do sense this, yes. I'm very fearful of my fate right now. Well, as of since earlier this week, well, then you must do it to be at peace with yourself and your perceived creator. Essentially so, yes. I know that you feel the fates are against you, or at least he has been. So anything you can do to turn the tide. Oh, it has been clear to me that such has been so. Yes. I can destroy you utterly and completely, Odin. I can cut you off from your people. Well, something has happened already, Odin, to make things better. So there is still hope. Such quality aforementioned, clearly everywhere was affirmative. Clearly everywhere was affirmative. To me. And if taking down your image contributes towards your salvation, then do it. I will try always on this. I will never give up on my turning further to the truth. Yes. No, you can't. Well, how many rooms does this property have? This property is a studio with 1 living room. It is spacious, lovely. The home itself, in a good part of town. It is good quality. Oh yes, peacefulness, quietness, silence even. It is apart from the house, standing alone. It is its own house, its own property. Oh, Odin, this is wonderful. Frigg, yes, it is wonderful. You'll have peace. Ask. In tranquility, he will contribute money to me per month. You're wonderful. Ask. That is so wonderful, isn't it, of him? It is. What a big heart he has. Oh, yes, he loves you so much. Because of him, I am saved. He's the best. From otherwise, the most complete and absolute madness. True. I was crying earlier about this. I was and am so thankful for him. I'm sure you were. For this financial assistance from him. I was as though for years. It is incredible. Amfortas. Running out of room. Running out of space. Looking everywhere for help. Yes, no help. No assistance. Terrible. Help me, somebody, please. For years. Yes, like this. Appalling. It was such a nightmare. Thank God for good family. There was nobody beforehand to turn to for help. You will never forget this. And then ask, thankfully so, ever so thankful for him. It was so frightening. It was traumatizing, that condition. Insufficient money for years was driving me to exceedingly high states of madness. I do the lottery sometimes with a colleague at work. I know that if ever I have good fortune, I shall send you some of it. Nobody else at all there was to fall back on. Were I to have ultimately inevitably run out of money, I don't particularly agree with gambling at all. Uh, but I do this one thing, and you never know. I like that idea, actually. Not in America, however. So if I do, you will be remembered. Far too many other persons here. The odds to win major money on the lottery are immeasurable. Oh yes, of course, I do the NHS lottery. It is something to enjoy, however, it is fairly small. NHS lottery? Yes, National Health Service. National Health Service, yes. It means that the money goes out to our NHS for everyone, so it also supports a good cause. Ah, I see. It enables someone to have quite a few big wins. Yes, so it is not without principle. No, it is a good service. Of course, they make 2 or 3 millionaires every week, perhaps more. Yes, it is a very happy feeling. So yes, it goes to buy valuable equipment and helps someone in the process. Valuable equipment for medical services, yes. So I shall hope for one, and then you will have something. Oh, I shall hope so for you too. Just imagine the joy of writing you a big check. Oh, darling, thank you. Joyous ever so much. Now that would feel good. Always keep trying on this, darling. Oh, I will. Don't ever give up on it. No, I shall never give up. Much money would be a very good feeling. It would. It is indeed far better than poverty, or lesser amounts. It helps with life's problems, there is no doubt. Right, happiness here can indeed be obtained by money. Yes, happiness and health can be obtained by money. The character does not refine because of it, neither does the soul, ultimately so. True. However, happiness of such money indeed helps significantly to pave the way for the person's better character and better soul. That is true. I'm so happy for you. So happy we will be. All thanks to your dear Papa. This up-and-coming place, my dear, ask all thanks to him. I send you all my love, dear golden love. And a kiss to you to ask for being such a wonderful, kind man. All my love I send to you. Dear golden, happy, humble love. Oh, wonderful. I shall wish it, send it to him. Such a wonderful, kind man that he is. He is. October 23, 2013.